Hey everybody, welcome to Better Government for Leland, where we advocate for the rights of citizens instead of benefits for billionaire developers. It's a beautiful day to take back our town. Well, who's ever had a black eye? The only time I ever had a black eye, I had some surgery and it looked like I had been in several rounds with Muhammad Ali, and I'm going to tell you, I would do anything to avoid getting another one. But this Leland Town Council, my word, they just keep getting one black eye after another one. I don't know how many black eyes they can get and still just keep walking around. But let's look back over the past few years at some of the black eyes this Leland Town Council has received. Let's start with black eye number 1 in 2023, the stadium. The outdoor stadium concert venue that was concocted by this Leland Town Council and their town manager, David Hollis, and carefully hidden from the public, hidden until after the filing date to file to run for Leland Town Council had passed. Oh, if they hadn't made this public before that filing date, then Brenda Bozeman, Veronica Carter, and Bob Campbell would have had people running against them, and oh, well, we just couldn't have that. Now, could we? Well, the stadium, it was supposed to have been originally, and it was presented by a company called Rev Entertainment, R-E-V, Rev Entertainment. And the first proposal was that Brunswick County would own the stadium and would finance the stadium. But Brunswick County figured out that this was not a good thing, and so they passed on it. And now Leland Town Council was seriously considering doing this on their own. Well, while it was under proposal for the county, Leland financed a feasibility study. Now, all during the discussion on this stadium, when there was a big public backlash once we finally found out what they were up to, Veronica Carter and Bill McHugh kept saying, well, this is unincorporated land in the county, and so we have nothing to do with it. Our hands are tied. Their favorite statement, their favorite excuse, our hands are tied. Well, if their hands were tied and it had nothing to do with Leland, why was the town of Leland doing a feasibility study? A feasibility study that you and I paid $30,000 for when it was going to be owned by the county. Well, everybody knew from the get-go that Leland was planning to annex that property and then they would own it. So that was a red herring saying, oh, it's only on the county. But anyway, there was such huge public backlash that Rev Entertainment pulled out of the deal. Now, the town council would have shoved that down our throats, but Rev Entertainment didn't want to face such strong public opposition, and so they backed out of the deal. So remember, this stadium was going to be put right on Route 17, where it's already almost stop and go traffic, and it was going to be put in the middle of a huge residential areas all around it, completely inappropriate location for a stadium and an outdoor concert venue. But then on top of it, we were going to pay for it, $110 million, and no traffic impact study, no study on how much it was going to cost us to maintain this thing in terms of maintenance and employees, benefits and salaries, utilities, none of that was studied. And the feasibility study, well, that was conducted by a company that was recommended by Rev Entertainment itself. And of course, that company came back with a glowing feasibility study. Well, that's like asking a used car dealer, asking his cousin if he's a legitimate business dealer. I mean, that's just ludicrous, absolutely preposterous. Well, we all know the outcome. The public pushed back. Rev Entertainment withdrew their deal, and the town of Leland was furious at us. And David Hollis, the town manager, gave us a thundering scold where he chastised us all for having dared to have questioned the town council. And then some Better Government for Leland members had a private meeting with David Hollis, and one of them said, I was really surprised that something this expensive, such a huge piece of public debt, could be considered without putting it on a referendum for the voters to decide on. And David Hollis infamously replied, "We have all the power and authority we need." Oh yeah, there you go, King David I. All the power and authority he needs. So that was black eye number one. Well, following hard on the heels of black eye number one came black eye number two, the 70% tax increase crisis. I mean, who in their right mind would ever think that proposing a 70% tax increase would be a good idea? I'm telling you, you just wonder where these people dream this stuff up. Well, I had a conversation with a person who was a former council member in the town where I lived previously to Leland, and I said, well, what do you think about that? What do you think of this proposed 70% tax increase? And he just shook his head. He said, if I had even proposed a 10% tax increase, I would have been run out of town. And yet, the Legacy Council and Davis Hollis are still here. But 2027 is coming. Well, anyway, you know that we had massive public backlash. We had protest rallies. We had a billboard. We had the media all over it. So the council backed down, and they graciously only gave us a 17% tax increase, which on top of the one from the year before amounted to a roughly 50% tax increase in 2 years. Well, aren't they generous? Well, that was black eye number two. All right, black eye number three, the burn ban. For years, it's been continual, constant burning from these developers, burning off hundreds of acres of timber so they can develop. And nobody could leave their home. Health problems galore. The citizens have been begging the town council continually for relief from this situation. And of course, the town council responded with their favorite line, "Oh, the state law won't allow us to do that. Our hands are tied." And then came the public's burning. It started on a Friday morning in the height of the town council campaign season. It started on a Friday morning, and it was a towering inferno. Huge columns of fire. I don't know how far up in the sky. And the whole town went crazy. Absolutely crazy. The media were called in. It was an absolute zoo. And by Friday afternoon, the town council had called an emergency meeting for the following Monday. And suddenly, lo and behold, over the weekend, I guess the state legislature must have met and changed the law, because all of a sudden, the town council found themselves able to enact a burn ban. Who knew? Who could imagine such a thing? But it also was very convenient for Bill McHugh, whose campaign was spiraling down the drain. Most people saw that as a Hail Mary trying to save McHugh, but the council showed us how absolutely, completely untrustworthy they were, and it was a gigantic black eye for them. A black eye that saw Bill McHugh canceled, saw him defeated in the town council election. And now we have black eye number 4, the laptop scandal. Who could ever forget Computergate, when to all public appearances it seemed that town manager David Hollis and the town attorney and the other 4 members of the town council conspired to pull a coup to force Frank Pendleton off the town council. Oh, too bad. They were unbelievable. Well, they all of a sudden called a semi-secret meeting. It happened quickly at the last minute. It was scheduled, it was quietly announced, quietly scheduled on a Friday to happen on the following Monday at 1 o'clock, when they believed nobody would come. Most people are working, retirees are playing golf or going to the beach. Nobody's going to be there, right? Well, it turned out we found out about it and we publicized it. And when they got there at 1 o'clock on that Monday, there were over 100 people there and the media was there. Oh, Brenda and Veronica were furious. If looks could kill, I'd be in the ground right now. Well, the whole thing proceeded. It only lasted about 10 or 12 minutes, but Brenda announced it as, something has come to our attention and we don't want a black mark against our town. Horrors, a black mark. But what about all these black eyes you're getting? Oh, the black mark was this terrible failed coup they tried to pull. The town attorney said, this is the first time I've seen this email, while it was on the record. But then after the meeting was adjourned, he admitted in the presence of witnesses that he had discussed this issue with David Hollis and Brenda Bozeman and other members of the council. So we know they were all in on it. Now, the council directed the town attorney to investigate this laptop and find out if Frank Pendleton had broken the law. Well, when they came back and the attorney read his long, convoluted dissertation, his opinion was, no, Frank Pendleton did not break the law, but he probably would have if we hadn't stopped him. What kind of a legal opinion is that, to speculate on what somebody would have done? I mean, that kind of a legal opinion ought to get somebody disbarred. It's utterly preposterous. Well, when Veronica Carter realized they couldn't pin anything on Frank Pendleton, she went berserk, and she was literally jumping up and down in her chair, screaming, "Bring us to court! Bring us to court!" You can't believe somebody could really be behaving like this. I mean, just imagine if that had happened in a corporate board where one board member is goading another board member to sue the company. I mean, what do you think would happen to that board member? The same thing that needs to happen to Veronica Carter in 2027. Well, y'all know that Frank was completely exonerated. And guess what? He got the laptop while we got stuck paying $10,000 to investigate a $1,000 laptop. Oh, but Bob Campbell told the media that he thought that money was well spent. Re-elect no one 2027, y'all. All right, and the last most current black eye, district voting. What a fiasco. For those of you who were present at the June 18 meeting, it really was unbelievable, and you can see my previous post on that. So there's 5 black eyes in 3 years, huge public scandals, huge public black eyes for the Leland Legacy Council. Oh, it's another year before 2027 election. Plenty of time for many more black eyes, and y'all, it's going to get dirty because the developer cabal is going to pour tons of dark money into this election coming up, and the Legacy Council and their cult member teammates are going to pull out all the stops. Get ready. It's going to be a wild ride. We won't even be able to count how many black eyes are going to come out of this. So, y'all, come to these town council meetings. You will be entertained. And remember, it's a beautiful day to take back our town.